Click the bell icon to get latest videos from Ekeeda.
Hello friends, I welcome you all to this video. We are with the 12th chapter of microwave engineering, where we have the various microwave components to be addressed here. We started to see what exactly the microwave hybrid circuitries are there. We have seen the waveguide junctions, the waveguide T's actually for the E plane and H plane. The combination of the two called as magic T. Also we have understood the hybrid rings called as rat race junction, and recently we have addressed the waveguide corners, bends and twist here. Let us have one more popular microwave passive component in this family called as directional couplers. So let us see the details. So here we begin with our topic called as directional couplers here. So as the name of this particular component is having the two terms, these two terms are giving us quite good information what exactly the device is having. So as we come to have the second term, so it is a directional coupler. So coupler is meant for coupling of energies or coupling of power signal, we can say here. So the signal is basically the microwave signal, so that is propagating. Either it may be generated with the help of the microwave tube or onto the semiconductor platform as like the gun oscillator, and that microwave signal can be processed through the different levels with the help of different devices, and finally the intended load will be provided with it to complete the application here. So now the coupling of the energies, when it is done by the device, we call the devices in general to be the couplers here. Along with only the coupling, there it is a mention of directional here. So the coupling is not without any directional view here, with a proper direction from which port to which another port the energy or the power of the microwave signal should be coupled. So that care is taken while having the design of this particular device, hence the name directional coupler. So in general, if you want to talk with respect to the microwave test bench, generally we find that the directional coupler is a 4-port device. Now we know that E plenty, H plenty, both are having 3 ports. So the corresponding scattering matrices are of the order of 3 by 3. The magic T, the hybrid ring, are of 4 ports, hence the corresponding scattering matrix is of the order 4 by 4, it is a square matrix. So for directional coupler, as we have the 4 ports here, so it will also be having the scattering matrix denoted as S of the order 4 by 4. So the total 16 number of scattering coefficients, generally represented capital S suffix ij here. So this is for the ith row and the jth column. So it is giving us the information regarding when the power signal, microwave signal, is fed as input to the ith port and the output is produced at the jth port. So this is the scattering matrix. So one thing is cleared, because of the 4 ports to the directional coupler, we have the scattering matrix of 4 by 4 order. Now let us talk about its structure here. We know very well the waveguide. So waveguide is a hollow metallic tube. So when we talk about the cross-sectional area of the shape, rectangular type, we call it to be the rectangular waveguide. So it can be drawn like this. We can have such an opening to the rectangular waveguide, and this way it will be running towards the another end here. So this is the broader dimension small a and the smaller dimension small b here. When it is the case of circular waveguide, we have circular cross section. So now in the directional coupler, what is the use of this rectangular and circular waveguide? See, in the directional coupler there are 2 waveguides used. The first waveguide that is associated with the main flow of microwave signal is called as primary waveguide. Whereas the coupling of the main signal to some little bit extent for further purposes of analysis or the measurement, so we have the another waveguide that has the coupling to the main or the primary waveguide called as secondary or auxiliary waveguide here. So while using two waveguides, we can have the construction of directional coupler here. So the basic structure we shall see with the help of one schematic diagram. So in this schematic diagram, we show you 4 ports here. So onto the left hand side, we have shown 2 ports. Onto the right hand side, we have another 2 ports here. So as the name of the device is directional coupler, this central block that has connections to all these 4 ports here is called as coupling device. Now we name here port 1, the uppermost onto the left hand side. The right hand side uppermost is named by port 2 here, whereas at the bottom onto the left hand side we have port 3, and at the bottom on right hand side we have port 4 here. So the pair of openings constituted by port 1 to the port 2 is nothing but a primary waveguide, whereas the pair of ports forming the waveguide right from port 3 to the port number 4 is called as secondary waveguide. So we have the two waveguides, primary waveguide running from port 1 to 2 and secondary waveguide running from port 3 to port 4, and they have certain interconnection with the help of the coupling device. Here in this block in general we have represented here. Now let us discuss about some relationship with respect to these 4 ports here. Initially, whatever the microwave signal is to be further analyzed here is fed as input to port number 1, and it is obvious that the most part of the fed input will be made available at port number 2. So port number 1 is intended input port, whereas port number 2 is intended output port here. Because of the coupling device, some portion of the microwave signal energy or power you can say is taken into the port number 4 in the forward direction. So forward direction, that is taking the microwave signal from left hand side we take for the source side here, to the right hand side we take for the load side here. So this is called as forward coupling, when we have port number 1 information energy power coupled to that of port number 4 here. So port number 1 and port number 2 constitutes a primary waveguide, a direct flow of information or microwave signal, whereas port number 1 to port number 4 forms a pair of forward coupled ports here. In the similar fashion, we can also have the reversal of the orientations. We can get this right hand side to the left, left to the right here. So in the similar fashion, port number 2 and port number 3 also forms a pair of coupled ports here. Now the coupled ports 1 to 4 and 2 to 3 here, whereas a pair constituted by port number 1 to port number 3 at the ideal case forms a pair of isolated ports. Isolated ports, there it means no coupling. So the coupling is from port 1 to 4, not from 1 to 3 here. This direction has not been shown in this representation, the schematic diagram. So there it is no connection between port number 1 and port number 3 in the ideal case. So these are a pair of isolated port. In the similar fashion, port number 2 to port number 4, this pair is also of isolated ports here. Now let us define the two parameters that will have measurements with respect to the performance of this directional coupler. So the performance metrics in general we can say for the directional coupler can be of the two types here. As the name directional coupler, we shall be having first of all the coupling factor. The coupling factor can be in general represented by capital C, and most possibly it is measured in terms of decibels here. So while we call the coupling factor can be defined as it is the measure of a ratio of power levels into the primary waveguide and that of the secondary waveguide. So for the primary waveguide, we have the input provided to port number 1 here. So let us say the associated power can be represented by P suffix 1. Whereas in the secondary waveguide at port number 4, we have the coupled power portion. So that can be represented by P suffix 4 here. So therefore, the mathematical representation of the coupling factor can be given capital C is equal to 10 log to the base 10, the ratio P1 by P4. So as we have 10 log to the base 10, for the operation of this ratio, we express the value of coupling factor in terms of decibels. So I outline this formulation. It will be very helpful to make computations in the problems based upon the directional coupler here. Now the another factor, a performance metric for the directional coupler, can be called as directivity. Now directivity can be denoted by capital D. So when we talk about the powers associated with the primary waveguide and that of the secondary waveguide, we can define the directivity D to be the measure of how well a forward traveling wave into the primary waveguide will be having the coupling with that of the secondary waveguide here. So in the primary waveguide, we have the forward direction from port number 1 to that of port number 2 here. In the secondary waveguide, we have the direction from port number 3 to port number 4, but we are not anyway providing input to port number 3, but input is coming from port number 1. Hence the coupling is in this particular direction. So the directivity, when represented in terms of decibels, can be mathematically formulated as we have 10 log to the base 10 for the ratio of P4 to that of P3 here. So this is called as the directivity. So ideally, the directivity should have the infinite value. This formulation is made to obtain the directivity at infinite value when we keep P3 power. So P3 power, when it is equal to 0, in the denominator when we have 0, so P4 divided by 0, it will certainly give the infinite value in the ideal case for the directivity measured in terms of decibels here. Hence this is the formulation here. So while talking about the practical values of directivity, though we have the infinite value to be the desired one, so it is not possible practically. We shall be having a finite value here. So approximately 35 to 45 decibels of values are possible when we work with the practical directional coupler here. Now let us discuss about few of the possible types of directional coupler that are available and we can use into the practical experimentations. So this is the schematic diagram with which we have the 4 basic types I can say here. So let us name the figures as part A, part B, we have this part C and part D here. Now if you observe the part A here, this is the cross-sectional view here. So as general, we have port number 1, port number 2 forming the primary waveguide. Port number 3 and port number 4 are forming the secondary waveguide, and in between there should be a coupling block here. So here we have the 2 holes to the walls that are side to side for primary waveguide and that of the secondary waveguide. So these are the 2 openings, and these 2 openings are generally separated by lambda suffix g divided by 4, that it means quarter wavelength. So when we have these openings, so when we have the input power fed to port number 1, it has to go directly into the port number 2, but due to these 2 openings, there it will be certain leakage, so that the power signal will have some portion, some extent into the secondary waveguide, and ideally it should be going toward the port number 4 in the forward direction. Hence it will be the forward coupling from port number 1 to port number 4. So because of the geometric two holes here, such type of directional coupler is called as two hole directional coupler. Now in the second figure, part B here, we have 1, 2, 3 and 4 complete 4 holes with respect to the side walls of the primary waveguide and that of the secondary waveguide. So this is the port number 1 to port number 2, a flow of primary waveguide. Port number 3 to port number 4, the flow of secondary waveguide. So we have 1, 2, 3 and 4 holes at the common wall. In general, we can say the separation between the first and the second hole is by the length small a, whereas the separation between second and third is by the length small b here. The separation between third and fourth is by small a here. So this way, this particular directional coupler can be called as 4-hole directional coupler. So in this diagram, for part A figure and part B figure, we have 2-hole and 4-hole directional coupler. So practically we can have a manufacture of n-hole in general for the directional couplers here. Now when we come for the part C of the figure, you can see here these are the two waveguides. The alignment of the waveguide you can see here. This is the broader dimension, this is the smaller dimension. So as it is on the upper side, we can consider this to be the primary waveguide running from port number 1 to port number 2 here, and this is the secondary waveguide running from port number 3 to port number 4 here. So now this particular region is providing the coupling ports here. Coupling ports here. The separation between the positions of the coupling ports is again here as like the 2 holes lambda g divided by 4 here. So now we have this type of directional coupler having some different orientation, the transverse orientation for the primary and that of the secondary cases, called as swinger directional coupler here, or simply swinger coupler. Now at last we have part D of the figure. The part D of the figure, such an arrangement when we have the two waveguides and the two waveguides have been coupled with the help of only one aperture here to a common wall between the two waveguides. This is called as Beth hole directional coupler. Now these were the 4 selected types of directional couplers we can have here. So with the different orientations of the primary and secondary waveguide and having the variation into the number of holes that can have the coupling, so the different structures can be produced and such different types can be advantageous at different applications of microwave engineering, we can say here. So here we conclude the topic. We can be adding some more information to the 2-hole directional coupler into the next lecture. For more such information and the knowledge of microwave engineering, you can subscribe to Ekeeda channel. Thank you.